In today's video, I will be talking about the National Parks Passport Program, going into detail on the cancellation stamps. If you haven't watched my previous two videos, I'll put the link below. The first one is an introduction, so it talks about a little bit about the program, and then the second one talks about the passport book.
Okay, so let's show some examples of the stamps. They basically show the park site, the name of the site, and also the date. You have put this as the date that you visited. The stamps here are circular, but they also have the Junior Ranger, which is usually this shape. And if you notice the color blue ties in again with the region. For this one here, this was in Jamestown, which falls in the Mid-Atlantic region, which is the blue color. So, like I said, the Junior Ranger stamp, and a site can have more than one stamp. So just keep that in mind when you're, for space. And they can also have other stamps just unique to that site. And one thing else I want to mention is that the stamps are free.
Okay, so let's talk about now where to get the cancellation stamp. If there is a visitor center for the park, they usually have a stand somewhere within the building with the cancellation stamps. If they have a gift shop, it could also be in there. So here is a tip. If a park has more than one visitor center, they most likely will have their own stamps. So if you're looking to collect all the stamps for that park, make sure to visit all the visitor centers. And here is another tip. Before you put the stamp into your book, always check the date on the stamper to make sure it's correct. Perhaps the park staff hasn't had a chance yet to change it for the day, or the person in front of you that used it prior to you could have changed it. So I always check to make sure that the date is correct. If you don't have your book with you when you visit a park, check at the stamp locations. Sometimes they will have small pieces of paper there, white paper cut into squares. You can always put the stamps on that, and then when you get home, put them into the book. And here's an example of where I had to do that. When I got home, I just cut the stamps into circular shapes, and then I used, I forget, it was either double-sided tape, or glue to just put them into the book. Another way to find out the cancellation stamp locations for a park is to go to America's National Parks website. I'll make sure to put the link to the website in the description below. So if you click on Passport to your national parks and then select Passport Cancellation Locations, it'll bring up a PDF document. It'll show all of the stamp locations for every park within the system, and this document is updated monthly. So if you don't have a passport book or don't want to use one, there's many other things you can put stamps in. Some suggestions would be a brochure, a postcard, scrapbook, a travel journal, or if you have like a small notebook you carry with you, or one of those books, the national park books where you can record your visits. These are all other options. And if anybody's watching and has another suggestion, please put it in the comments below. So if you visited a park in the past and you didn't have the passport book, but you have now gotten it and you'd like to get the cancellation stamps, one place you can check for them is to go online to the National Parks website. That is nps.gov, and I will put that link below. So let me show you an example here for this park in Michigan. So if you look on, sometimes they'll have it under places to go, things to do. So go to a website, you have to just search around a little bit. But here I found it under Visitor Center's passport stamps. And when I scroll down, they actually show, the visitor centers. And here would be the stamp for that visitor center. Then here's the second one where they probably have their own stamp. But here they have a suggestion that print the page and then you can just write the date in. Another option to find a cancellation stamp is to send a request to the Parks Visitor Center and include a self-addressed, stamped envelope, and also include a blank sheet of paper, and then include a note also that has the date that you would like the stamps for, and request them to give you stamps for all of that all the ones they have available. And the third option is if you aren't able to find cancellation stamps or don't want to send to the visitor center, you can always just handwrite the date in the book. Coming up in the next video, I will be talking about the National Park's regional stamp, or sticker as it's sometimes called. Thank you so much for watching today. Hopefully you found some of this information helpful and useful.